Welcome back to Jade Empire. The introduction screen changes with each new chapter, and this is the screen for Chapter 2.
That was quite the crash. I wouldn't have left the marsh had I known we were headed for such a spectacular landing. It's a miracle we all survived unharmed. We did all survive, didn't we?
I'm okay too, a little shaken up is all.
We were lucky. Only a fool braves the air currents without a proper wind map. You can't navigate the skies without them. Not safely, anyway.
So where are we going to find a wind map of this region? We can't follow Master Li's captors without one.
Things are even worse than that. Look at our flyer. Even if we had a wind map, this thing wouldn't take to the air again.
So this is the main objective of the chapter. We have to find a new wind map, and we need to either repair or find a new flyer.
You make it sound so simple. Flyers and wind maps are rare things, even in the Imperial City. Out here, they're all but unknown.
Gao and his pirates used flyers to attack Two Rivers, and the Lotus assassins who took Master Li had them too. Somebody around here must know something about them.
You might notice that I'm generally being nice to Dawnstar, even though that might be considered an open palm thing to do. I'll explain why later on.
I'm sorry to get upset, but every second we're stuck here, Master Li gets farther away from us.
We're near Tian's Landing. It's a small village, but maybe someone there knows where we can find a new flyer. If nothing else, I remember a clearing suitable for a camp. And if we can't find a flyer, we can always follow on foot. To the south of the village is a forest. A trade route leads through it to the Imperial City. The village is across the bridge and beyond a large marker stone. Look for the giant rock with a painting of a fish on it, and you'll know you're heading in the right direction. Very well. I'll wait here for now. It's not so different from the marsh, actually. More of an impending sense of doom. But that could just be your influence.
We should get going. There has to be a better place for us to rest than this. Let's go.
Before we go any further, there's something I need to show you. Like I've said in previous parts, you always have a companion with you at all times. However, there are two ways you can use your companions. You can have them attack, or you can have them support you. And you can choose whenever you selected a companion.
Let's keep things simple. If someone gets in our way, remove them.
I am honored that you have chosen me.
You can switch between them at any time. What's nice about them in attack mode is that they can attack spirits, which is going to be the main opponent for this part. However, I'm going to be using Dawnstar in support mode because her support technique is really useful. She will automatically regenerate my chi when I'm in combat.
Do you feel that? Something is here. Something that hates the living. Leaping tiger.
This this chapter is why I haven't invested a lot of my style points yet. I'm going to be fighting spirits for a bit of a stretch, and like I've said earlier, you cannot use a support style or a weapon style on them. The transformation style is a bit inefficient and overkill, so I'm stuck using just my one martial arts style. And to be honest, there's other martial arts styles that I might want to try in this run, so I'm saving my points.
You fell from the sky, but despite the maddened spirits here, you will benefit. A spirit monk was here long ago, fleeing the destruction that orphaned you. He carried a piece of your amulet. It was separated, broken apart, so your enemies could not find it easily. You have the first piece. It trains your abilities now. The second piece fell here with its minder, hidden until waters receded. A guardian protects it, waiting to test and serve you. The third piece awaits discovery in a distant lair. These three pieces are physical, but there is one more. It cannot be found, only earned. This final piece is all that will save you in the end.
Are you all right? You fell over after the fight. There was something here, but I couldn't see it clearly. You saw a vision? Strange that I could not make it out. Strong spirits are usually quite clear to me. Please tell me if you have any more. We shouldn't stay here. It isn't safe. There's so much pain and suffering in this place that I can barely think. What did Zeus say again? A clearing near Tian's Landing across the bridge in south? It sounds simple enough. Lead the way and I'll follow.
So like some have speculated in the thread, yes, you can upgrade your dragon amulet. We will be able to hold more gems as we get more pieces of it. And one of them we'll be finding in this chapter. The other pieces, well, you'll see later on.
Leaping tiger. Meet your end.
This area over here is blocked off for now. We'll be coming back later. I will probably not be upgrading weapon styles for most of this chapter, just because of how many spirits I have to deal with. Chapter 3, there's going to be a lot more human opponents, and I'll feel a little more comfortable with it by then. Or at least by then I'll have enough styles that I might start to pick my favorites. Like Toad Demon. I'll probably be upgrading Toad Demon later on.
Leaping tiger. Toad demon form.
I'm not even sure what just happened there, but okay.
Stop where you are! Death's Hand should know better than to send his minions out alone.
It is clear that you are one of his hirelings, or perhaps one of Gao the Greater's marauding pirates. You will pay for the crimes you have committed.
Observant watchers might remember this woman from the cinematic that played after we left Two Rivers.
Don't waste your last breath on lies. I didn't get there in time to help anyone, but I saw you lead the massacre in Two Rivers. Clearly you were involved. Death's Hand went too far in ordering its destruction, and Gao the Greater sought to profit from it. My retribution will end with them, but it will begin with you.
Leaping Tiger!
Silk Fox's AI is roughly on par with Gao the Lesser, so she will be smart enough to guard and to take advantage of you while you're trying to break it. Fortunately for her, I get her into a bit of a rhythm, and by the time I do that, she's practically gone.
Enough!
The way you move seems odd. A flaw I cannot see, perhaps? But you are better than I expected. You might even beat me, if I allowed such insolence. You are too skilled to be just a hireling. Death's Hand would view such ability outside his assassins as dangerous, and Gao the Greater prefers his servants docile.
I'll give Silk Fox this much. She's at least smart enough to realize after a fight that maybe we're telling the truth.
So it would appear. You lack their branding, but if you are not one of them, who are you? A monk? A mercenary? A bandit? You chase a great evil, larger than you realize. Leave and you may survive. Others have tried to face Death's Hand, but were destroyed, as Two Rivers was. Your honor sends you toward peril, but you do not flinch from it. A trait of fools, and perhaps the occasional hero. I also seek answers from Death's Hand and his minions. If you truly oppose him, you will need to find your way to the Imperial City. Of course, only the Lotus Assassins can come and go as they please, thanks to Gao. Travel routes by land and water are blocked, but they use wind maps and flyers to further their goals here and in the surrounding forest. Perhaps, if you are capable, we will meet again. I wish you good luck, but you will need far more than that to survive. Farewell.
So obviously this direction leads us to Tian's Landing, but let's explore a little more first.
This area is off limits. Intruders will be executed. Impudence. We have orders from Death's Hand himself, peasant. All intruders die.
Leaping Tiger! You will fall! Toad Demon Form! Leaping Tiger! You lack grip! Ice Shot! Leaping Tiger!
Wait, stop! I'm not your enemy. I swear by my ancestors, I'm not your enemy. I'm not even a soldier. Wait, please, listen. My name is Chen Yi, a simple peasant from the village of One Stone. Surely you can tell by the way I stand that I've had no training. These soldiers passed through my village a few weeks ago. One of them angered the Lotus assassin who was in charge, and the assassin killed him. As I was coming back in from the fields, they grabbed me to fill his place. They put this uniform on me, bloodstains and all, and told me I was in the army. I will do my best, but I don't know anything. The Lotus assassins just told us to guard the gate while they searched the ruins. That's all, I swear. They are evil, pure evil. They forced me to serve them. They would have killed me if I disobeyed. I had no choice but to guard this door while they searched the ruins. I don't know, I was here on the far side of the gate, and the gate itself is locked. Only the Lotus assassins themselves are allowed into the ruins. No, nothing. Only that the gate leading into them was locked. The Lotus assassins had to get a key from Shang, the imperial minister in Tian's Landing. But I think the ruins are haunted. I hear strange sounds coming from beyond the gates, but even the threat of ghosts can't keep the assassins from their search.
This is a decision that I honestly feel helps show off why the writing staff weren't always in tune with each other. Because while this guy was too weak to stop himself from being forced into service, he was also placed into a situation where he couldn't hope to grow because people like us would just come and kill him anyway. So, if they'd had more time with writing, or if they'd been a little more in tune with each other, I might be able to get away with letting him go, but the closed-fist option here is killing him.
You shame Master Li with your actions here. We should protect the weak, not exploit them.
And of course, Dawnstar just won't let this go, because she's an open palm person, and unfortunately half the time, open palm is being Jesus.
Of course, Great One. I will return to my village and lead an upright life of farming and praying. Thank you for sparing me. Thank you.
You showed great compassion to that poor man. I am glad to see you can be merciful as well as strong.
I just wanted to show that Dawnstar just completely did a 180 from about to chastise us for killing him to immediately forgetting we were going to kill him and saying, "Oh, it's so great that you're being merciful," right after you threatened to kill him. Just... there are no words.
Ah, you found your way. Good. I decided there wasn't much point in staying with the flyer. It's not going to get much worse in my opinion. Here, I salvaged this gem out of some sort of power source. I imagine you will have some use for it. Now that we're here, we should see if anyone knows anything about flyers. Maybe whoever is in charge of the town can help us get underway again. I will stay here at this new camp unless you need me. It seems like a good enough place to base ourselves out of.
I actually get a pretty good gem after that conversation, and I'll be equipping it off screen.
I can't believe Two Rivers is gone. It was home. The people there were the only family I've known, and now they're all gone.
I understand, Dawnstar, but the path you are on may lead to even darker places. You must prepare yourself.
I don't want to think like that. We will set things right. We have to. I know. I just wish there was a way to put things back the way they were.
A good chunk of this video is going to be spent talking to Dawnstar and Sagacious Zoo.
Is there anything you need? I'll do whatever I can to help.
This is the chapter where your choices in conversation with your companions start to actually matter. Unfortunately for Dawnstar, it doesn't matter yet.
No, I didn't have anything pressing on my mind, although your company is always welcome. We seem so far from anything familiar. Strange enemies, troubling plots. I will be glad when we can leave this place to find Master Li. I will answer what I can. Zoo made it quite clear what we must do. We need a wind map, and we need a flyer. The longer we take, the farther away Master Li gets. I do not like the area around this place, around Tien's Landing. There is rot here, deep in the heart of it. There are secrets, and there has been much suffering. Maybe I just feel this way because of what happened at the school, or what I fear will happen to Master Li. I just know we must be careful.
Whatever I say about the writing and the philosophy system, I'm at least thankful that I can respond to her using different philosophies and achieve the same result.
The lives of our friends are already lost. Master Li's life is still in jeopardy. How many others will come to depend on you? I fear your burden, not your ability. I am glad to hear you say it. We must keep our heads clear to survive this. Is there anything else I can do for you? Be well, my friend.
Yes? Is there something you want? I can assure you that I no longer share an allegiance with them. It was a short dalliance that ended on poor terms. I won't discuss that. Perhaps I will say more when I know your motives better, but for now my past is my own. I wouldn't have much respect for you if you did, but it is all that I'm going to offer right now. I'm not concealing anything that will harm you or your cause. You and Dawnstar have my full support, but my past is my own affair. I won't get in your way if you don't get in mine. I have nothing more to say about where we are. Our enemy? The sure sign of an effective fighter is that he has many enemies. Which are you most curious about? A small man. He bears a grudge against the world because his wealth cannot buy him the status he wants. At least that is my estimation of him. If we encounter him in his holdings near Tien's Landing, I doubt he will be very welcoming. Not after he learns the fate of his son.
I'm hopeful that he won't get to respond much. I plan on punching his face in too.
You name the Emperor among your personal foils. You have a grand opinion of yourself. Don't be so quick to link Sun Hai to the destruction you have seen. Death's hand may still answer to him, but it is a long leap from that to assuming the Emperor approves of what the Lotus assassins have done. Both of those possibilities will be hard for people to swallow. The Emperor is the Emperor. He is above weakness or viciousness. To question that is to question the nature of the Jade Empire, and I'm not Not many people are willing to do that.
I think the reverence people hold for the Emperor in this game is in reference to the Chinese Emperor.
The Emperor is the foundation upon which we build. If he is weakened, we all fall. There is little to tell that would affect you now. The assassins are fanatically loyal to Death's Hand, and he uses that influence to do as he wishes. He also controls the Imperial Army, but they are no longer in his favor, it seems. Mere guards in comparison to the assassins. Death's Hand was just beginning his rise to power when I left the Lotus Assassins. I do not know much more about him. Goodbye, then.
This chapter marks the beginning of a long and elaborate side quest involving Sagacious Zoo, and in order to not risk ending it early, I'm bringing him with me into Tien's Landing.
Nara irfonia wonu kanawa ofair kanawa wonu.
Mother and I are getting out of this town. If you have any sense, you'll do the same.
Akwakwak wo sosonia sonophonia sisaya nawakuk. Uksair wak unanikiro, nana wo nafak suno.
It's sure to be more exciting than this dead place.
Konio kiowe kawaya wo kawaya watita osia kwanif nipawia. Piayer uksayer sinini sisayer rusta atapafawer sumpuno ko suir toerok.
This woman here is a complete moron.
Sisayer ifok woso no koso ayer ya. Sayer kanoa fwaranuer. Woyer apafawayer sisier sisitu tok. Woyer wakwak finir sier.
You're about to see proof of just how dumb this lady is.
Wo tawa yer kupier kawier nakawier iptuki.
This woman is fully aware that flyers exist and that the slavers are using advantage of them to trap people.
The pirates are Gao the Greater's men. He has holdings near here and access to quite a lot of flyers, as you've seen.
Piayer uksayer sinini sisayer rusta atapafawer sumpuno ko suir toerok.
You see? She knows. She knows they're going to get caught out there by slavers, and yet she's still going to go out there because things are just too bad in town.
Sisayer ifok woso no koso ayer ya. Sayer kanoa fwaranuer.
No, I refuse to buy that. It is better to at least be safe and die than to die in this slavery. You imbecile.
Pawoyer astir wo sayer ifasaya wa kawishir.
I bet you the moment she's off screen, she gets caught by pirates. I would bet you money on that.
Wo tawa yer kupier kawier nakawier iptuki. Unipir uksayer si sini nisayer wustap, wo ifuer uksunok nokawayer. Ukir nekpo si se sayer wosayer nifuyer. Noni wowo sayer tar wowowir ignisaro kunkna.
A fighting chance? No, you are not trained martial artists. You cannot defend yourselves. You are aware there are threats out there, possibly ghosts, you know there are pirates with flyers. You have no chance out there at all. Even if you don't have money to survive in Tian's Landing, you don't have the strength to survive in the wild.
Noni wowo sayer tar wowowir ignisaro kunkna. Woyower apafawayer sisi tu tok. Woyer wakwak finir seer.
Another thing, if it's evening, why aren't you waiting until morning if you're so concerned about the sun being up? Especially when you know there are threats out there.
Koniok yower kawayer wokawayer watita osia kwanif nipawir.
Not even kidding, that woman is too dumb to live.
Out of our way, woman. In this town, we don't step aside for you. You step aside for us.
The peasants of this village may cower before you, but I do not. If you are smart, you will apologize for your behavior and walk away.
Don't tell me what to do. You think I won't hit a woman? You have to learn your place. This whole town has to learn its place. What are you looking at? This doesn't concern you. Too bad, because trouble just found you.
Leaping tiger.
So, we have a guest companion on this part. And that style she's using looks pretty cool. Luckily, we're gonna learn it in just a bit.
Your turn. Stop.
I always think that group fights are just plain easier than one-on-ones, because the one-on-ones, they usually have smart enough AI to effectively fight, whereas these guys, I can wail on them and win.
Hui, what are you doing here?
It's been a long time, Zhu. I haven't seen you since that night. I did as you asked. The child is safe. I made sure of that.
I know. After we spoke, I followed you. I wanted to be sure she was given a good home. You did well, Hui.
This is the reason I wanted to bring Zhu, because Hui and him have a past. And we'll get to see more of that throughout the rest of the part.
Hui and I knew each other long ago. She was a soldier, and I needed her help. There was a child, an orphan. I knew Hui could find a good home for her. She was just a girl. Her parents were dead. I couldn't look after her, and I knew Hui by reputation, and knew she would find a good home for her. She's safe. That's all you need to know. She doesn't concern you. Besides, we don't have time to worry about something that happened almost 20 years ago.
Yes, those are old worries. Thank you for your actions today. Even if these men were no real threat, just simple sailors frustrated at the shallow river that holds them here. There are pirates in the area, and they pose a far greater danger. You will likely encounter them, especially if you are the one I am waiting for. As Sagacious Zoo mentioned, my name is Hui. Tell me, young woman, what is your master's name? I have waited here many years for the arrival of one special fighter. Your master, Sun Li, bid me to wait until you, his protege, came seeking information.
So it's true. Master Li really is the Emperor's brother. I wish I had known.
He is gone, isn't he? Taken by the Lotus assassins just as he thought. He knew they were always searching. They are right to fear him and his legacy. The glorious strategist was certain the path to the Imperial City would bring you here. He was also very specific about how I present my information to you. You must be ready.
Master Li is quite the strategist, isn't he? But all the same, I do like how the character can immediately just turn around and go, there's no way that he could predict I would have a flyer and crash here.
You had a flyer? You're right, I doubt he anticipated that. The glorious strategist accounts for every possibility within the known conditions. Had you simply flown past... Well, I do not want to contemplate that. My time here would have meant little. I served under Sun Li and was trusted enough to be contacted after Dirge fell. He told me of the weeks-long siege and how spirit monks were slaughtered so his brother could take their temple. It was madness. The Emperor killed the water dragon itself.
The water dragon? The shepherd of the dead, a goddess of rebirth. To try and steal her power, to even think it could be attempted. Has any mortal ever shown such arrogance?
I don't know. Have you met Gal the Lesser?
There are many beings that exist beyond our experience. The heavens are governed by a celestial bureaucracy. Each facet of existence is managed by a specialized attendant. Most appear to have little influence, but some, like the water dragon, have a portfolio that grants exceptional status. She was said to have governance over the Great Wheel. She was not a maker, but all life that ended passed her gaze before returning to the earth in another form. Sun Hai sought rebirth for his empire at the cost of the natural order. Her body was taken to the palace as a grim trophy of the power that ended the long drought. All the while the people hailed the Emperor as a hero, ignorant of the price. The water dragon's power was tied to her temple at Dirge and the strength of her servants. When the spirit monks were slain and Dirge fell, she became vulnerable. Her physical form could be injured, but she was also a god. Maybe her spirit still exists. I don't know. I'm no expert on the heavens. The Great Wheel is a way to envision the cycle of rebirth. I believe that when something dies, it is reborn as something else, after some form of assessment, of course. The celestial bureaucracy is said to govern the heavens. Just as cities have minor officials, existence is delegated across many entities, some more grand than others. Or so some choose to believe. It is probably better explained by a philosopher. I know as much as any person that has seen their share of death.
Even though we're getting a lot of exposition at a very rapid pace, I can at least appreciate the reason for it. Master Li kept a lot of secrets for you ever since you entered his care.
Even a god is not invincible. They have their place and it can be challenged. Sun Li could not stop the slaughter of the spirit monks. He fled the battle with you in his arms. Most believe Sun Li fell at Dirge, a lie spread by the Emperor. A handful of us knew that he lived, and we also learned the terrible price of his rebellion. Li's wife was with child, his daughter born in the Imperial Palace while he was at Dirge. He never saw her. Within weeks of the siege, the Emperor had Li's family executed.
Executed? Murdered? The Lotus assassins were to cut them down. A mother and newborn child. I have no doubt that order came from Death's Hand himself.
He probably didn't think his family would be harmed, but even had he known, he might still have saved you. Li knows you have a destiny to fulfill. You're the last of your kind. The natural order has been disrupted. There is much to say, but first I was instructed to impart some very specific knowledge. Your master was very clear. It is time to continue your training, and I am honored to add to the basics that Sun Li instilled. A brief description should reinforce the style you saw me use. Certain lessons had to be withheld until you were ready for the attention they will bring. Sun Li taught me so that I would teach you. I must train you in Spirit Thief. Magic and weapons tire you. Draw on them too much and you could be left defenseless. Spirit Thief restores your chi, prolonging your ability to fight or ignore wounds. It is especially useful when enemies are immune to basic martial attacks, when you must use magic or weapons. It can even immobilize a foe, allowing time to recover even more. This short lesson should be enough for now. Come speak with me in the tea house. We will talk of your master and more.
Spirit Thief is an amazing style, but you're not going to see a lot of it in this part.
Yes? Is there something you want?
And right after that conversation with we go right into one with Zhu, and it's important that you talk to Zhu if you want to continue the side quest.
Nothing to concern yourself over. Very old business. I traveled this way when I was fleeing the Lotus assassins. Oh, choosing to leave is easy enough. Surviving the choice is not. Is that a surprise given their nature? Wei's comments about Master Li are more outlandish. I know Hui to be a truthful and honorable person, much more so than I consider myself to be. I do not question her belief, but belief alone is not enough. What if it is true? Much will have to change to accommodate this truth. It means the Emperor lied about Li's death, and he may have assaulted the heavens. The Emperor subject to the common vice of deception. Unthinkable. Perhaps. But that too implies a weakness that the Emperor cannot have. I warn you, this will lead in a dangerous direction for you and Dawnstar. I cannot condone it, but I have agreed to help, and I will. Just don't blame me when the whole world is against you. You will need more than my help. Just try not to endanger your companions. They are not to blame for what your destiny mandates. Now, is there anything else? I am always agitated. It is because of my training. We were taught that we were always being watched, always being stalked. In many cases, it is actually true. You likely have similar feelings. When trained to be as vicious as the assassins, or when you are the protege of a famous master, you tend to attract unwelcome interest. I wonder how you will react to this scrutiny. I also wonder if your fellows will stand by you when the true weight of what you claim becomes known.
I feel that that last option is probably the closest to closed fist I'm going to get on this option, because they want to grow stronger, and the only way to grow stronger and survive is helping me.
If your master is right, the actions of the average citizen of the Empire will not matter in the least. Many will prefer ignorance over knowing they are helpless. The sides of the coming conflict seem very well defined. That will not always be the case. It is sometimes difficult to see the truth behind the actions of others. Enough. I don't have anything else relevant to say. Perhaps I will when I have seen more of what you are capable of and what your master intends. Goodbye, then.
That's more or less going to do it for forward progress on this video. I'm going to show you one piece of lore that's just sitting outside of the tea house, and then I will see you guys next time. Take care.